Cucumber regular, please welcome Soham Sankaran.
Everybody, give it up for Sam Savitz. I think he's one of the great underdogs, I think, of Yale. Which is very relevant to the first joke I'm about to tell, which is essentially that, I was born in Mumbai, India. I still have Indian citizenship. I'm still looking for that green card marriage, and you would think that I'd be angry that the British owned us for a couple hundred years, but really I'm not, because they're such a beautiful, scrappy underdog story that it just makes everything okay. Like this random group of small white people who have tea and sandwiches take over a vast empire of my brown brothers with nothing but guile and probably Thin Mints. They're like the whitest, scrappiest player on the basketball team that you're the most fond of. They're like Matthew Dellavedova in the finals, just like messing with Steph Curry, messing with his brown majesty. It's just a temporary blip in the universal spectrum, but eventually we prevail. I've been thinking a lot about underdog stories lately, because I've been reading a lot about Mark Zuckerberg donating like $80 billion or whatever he donated to various strange causes, or maybe not donating them. It's unclear at this point. And it occurred to me that what these billionaires are doing is radically inefficient, right? Fuck the billionaires. If they're trying to solve world problems, they should hit something that they can do cheap that will actually affect a large portion of the world. So, for example, take the drug problem, right? There's all sorts of violence happening in Latin America, Colombia, Honduras, Mexico, that could be prevented if a billionaire said, I'm going to take $300 million and give everybody in the United States who wants it free high-grade cocaine. Right? Immediate supply-demand issue for these cartels. They're just fucked. Nothing good is going to come of that for the cartels, and very fast your cycle of violence evaporates. And maybe this means that we have a president who is totally unashamed to have snorted cocaine. But what we've learned, I think, is that George W. Bush is not the worst Republican president that can exist by a country mile. What's really scary about billionaires and about rich people is that, I think we all sort of have this belief, especially when we go to like this elite university, we do all these great things, or at least pretend to do these great things on our transcripts and resumes, and we think our lives have intrinsic value. Really, the only value that your life has in the United States or any other liberal democracy, which is, by the way, higher than in any other country on the planet, or any other type of country on the planet, is the amount of money it takes to bribe 5 random people to say you committed a heinous crime. So, if I just bribe 5 strangers in this room to say that, Ben Garfinkel, who's somewhere in this crowd, killed a small child, just an angelic baby, who was, eating ice cream on the side of the road when one day this strange man with logic and rational affect just tore asunder the veins from his neck. And then he was gone. Except 5 random people that I picked from this crowd saw him, and the man's life is over. Which is, I think, why we should really be very conscious about when we bring new life into the world. I do some tech stuff, and there's a lot of startup culture things that I find very interesting. But one service that I think will actually be very useful is a service called L, that launched in San Francisco a couple months ago now. Basically, L is Uber for condoms. Have you ever been in a situation where you're at home, or you are at somebody else's home, or in a hotel room, or behind a strip club, or in a parking lot, or huffing paint alone? And what you really need is a condom that has been proven through scientific trials to be 10 times as flexible and give 5 times more pleasure based on metrics that are unclear to me and I don't think I totally want to know about, than the next leading competitor, which may just be like whatever Lyft for condoms is. these Uber for services have really been taking off recently. So I think I'm just going to preempt this by creating what I think is the ultimate service, which is Uber for Uber. So let's say you're standing on the side of a road and you want something. You know, you want a condom, you want a car, you want Sam Savitz delivered to your doorstep. It's unclear what you want, but what you don't have is a smartphone or anything resembling a smartphone. So what Uber for Uber does is we hire illegal immigrants from India, China, and Mexico to stand around and listen for your call. So all you have to do is stand on the side of the street and yell, "Uber, Uber, come save me. I am rich, white, and bored." All right, thank you very much, guys.